We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, Faithful Acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from Silk City, it is the hot syrup with... What do we got here? I can't quite make this out. We got a picture of some sort of beverage and strawberries, maybe. I'm not quite sure what that is. Got this quasi lumberjack motif going on here. We've got apples. Is that what that is? And there's peppers there. Oh, and maple leaves. Okay, so this is kind of cool, actually. I think I get where we're going here. So we have the peppers, because there's peppers in this. We have the apples for the apple cider vinegar, and of course the maple leaves for the syrup. And let's take a look. So yes, with apple cider, sugar, and cayenne. I don't know, I don't see sugar here anywhere. What does this say? Change your life one drop at a time. Well, I think we're probably going to be using more than one drop. There's the artwork, the artist. And of course, Silk City. So there's a whole playlist. If you're a long-time viewer or just new to the channel, thanks for coming by. But also, there is a playlist of syrups and honey, of which this will be part of it. You can check out more of those if you like. This is very... I mean, certainly as runny as just your sort of pure maple syrup. But I don't know if that's what this is meant to be or not. I'm a little confused as to where we're going with this. So we're going to find out. And we have a restrictor cap. I don't need that. Let's get rid of that. Come on. Come on. Well, I guess we don't have a restrictor cap anymore. That thing flying. I'll have to go find that later, I guess. Let me just have a little smell of this and try to see what we're dealing with here. It doesn't smell like maple. It smells like something else. Look at how runny this is. We have it sort of looking like maple, kind of, but it doesn't look exactly like maple to me. It's very, very light. Boy, what do we got here? Well, I guess there's only one way for us to find out, and that is to get into it. Definitely getting cayenne out of this. This is nowhere near as mapley as I was expecting. It's almost its own sort of sweet cayenne syrup, if that makes sense. There's definitely... This veers away from the maple way more than I was expecting. It's really its own thing. And I actually am a little bit surprised that there hasn't been a Silk City sort of maple syrup variation out there. This is And it doesn't say maple. It says hot syrup. So it is this weird sort of middle ground between not flavor wise, like corn syrup is very, very light. And if you add enough water to it to where it becomes watery, you kind of get that sort of just like a watery sort of sweetness, almost like a sugar water. This is kind of between that and maple with the undercurrent of cayennes in there. And it is really, really interesting. I'm not getting a lot of the apple cider vinegar, which I'm enormously happy about. But that's kind of where it veers away from a lot of the other syrups because it is definitely nowhere near as sweet as certainly not as like a regular maple syrup or even a regular simple sugar syrup. It's really its own beast. It's kind of interesting. But I thought it was going to be a maple syrup, so what did I get? I got these. These are blueberry pancake sausages on a stick. And I thought, well, you know, I'm thinking it's like a maple syrup. So that's what we're kind of, you know, throw in the video, but it definitely isn't. I don't know if this is meant to just be consumed or where this is meant to go. Because I could see this being kind of interesting in a drink, you know, to sweeten up a tea of some kind, maybe. We'll try it on food though. Could use it in baking probably. Although I think the taste is a bit subtle, it's going to get lost. Could use it. Oh, that's hot. You could use it, for instance, maybe in place of water, like half and half. I I don't dislike the taste of this. I'm just really confused as to what it's for. Certainly, I think you could use it where you use maple syrup, but maple syrup has a density of flavor. This honestly doesn't. So I feel like if you got, you know, a thick Belgian waffle or something, it would get soggy before you got the flavor concentration you wanted. This is wild. Certainly, I have not had anything quite like this before. Which I've said about a lot of the different Silk City products over the years. They are certainly unique and original. Generally, with sauce or syrup, you want a density of flavor, a concentration, if you will. This is honestly light enough to drink. I don't know that I would find it refreshing to do that, so I'm not going to do that. But I mean, I could. That's the problem with it. That watery is, you know, sticking to stuff. You know, pour it on eggs and stuff. It's not going to stay put. It's going to run. I mean, it's quite enjoyable. Heat is pretty much non-existent. You get cayenne flavor, but there is, truth be told, no real heat to speak of. Very, very interesting product. I'm not. I would be interested to know what they were going for here because it's not immediately obvious to me just consuming this. Oh, maybe I will try just a little drink of this just for fun, funsies. Yeah, I mean, even bolting it like that, it's a very low key spark. It actually reminds me of some of the smoother booze shots I've had over the years, where you just got kind of a little tingle, little pinpricks of something that that's basically what it is. It's tickling the TRPV1 receptors, and but there's no real heat to this. There's a sort of definitely a bit of an acidity to it. And it's like it's this really interesting, vaguely maple-ish, lightly sweet, super runny, with the pepper flavor much more in the foreground than I can't think of another syrup actually where it's like that. So if you think, hey, it'd be kind of cool to have a pepper syrup, right? Because you got blueberry syrup, you got strawberry. What about a cayenne syrup? This, I think, is getting towards that, whereas those other ones are definitely reduced down a lot. This isn't, and this is definitely more of a maple cayenne. If I had to pick the two more prominent flavors in it, it would be those two. Yeah, really, really interesting. I am probably going to use it for breakfast stuff. I think it works well enough on that's probably where I'm going to wind up using this, is just on stuff like that. It worked well for those because you can dip it in and let it absorb into the pancake. But I feel like that's you need to have something where it can absorb. Like I said, on eggs and stuff like that, I just don't think this works very well. What this could be a lot of fun though, as a sort of bath or a wash for like chicken and waffles. You could actually do quite a bit of really cool stuff with that. And had I known that flavor, I might have actually attempted that. I'm not a big chicken and waffles guy, but I think that would have worked spectacularly in that application. So, and like I said, it is certainly watery enough that you could use it in drinks. Or I guess if you wanted, you could use it as a drink itself, I suppose. Kind of an expensive way of doing that, but yeah, a lot of fun. Very, very interesting. Very fascinating. It's a very unique, original. Just it relates to itself, kind of a thing. And I like that stuff. I like inventiveness. I like creativity. It's very, very cool. I also really like maple syrup, which is what I was thinking it was going to be, and it's not. You could use this actually, though. Combine it with maple syrup, and it'll probably be fine. So, but I think that is one of the things about this, is that you're going to have to kind of stretch a little bit and find applications for it, because it doesn't lend itself immediately in any one direction, as far as I'm concerned. So, very cool though. It's I think it's good that there's products out there that stretch the boundaries, and they kind of have you thinking about how to pair stuff. Certainly, not every sauce needs to do that, or every, in this case, syrup, I guess. But I am kind of glad when those come along, because that's a kind of a cool side effect, I think, or maybe it's potential, I don't know, but it's kind of cool either way. So, but anyway, we're gonna leave it right there. This is the Silk City Hot Syrup.
Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.